Hello everybody and welcome back to this X-Plane 11 stream. We're on the ground here in Beverly, just north of Boston, and we're having a look at the new Cirrus SR22 from TorqueSim. This is part of the Take Command series, available over on X Aviation, and this is a serious one, or a serious one, depending on what you think. So I tried to do a stream earlier on, everything went horribly wrong, so do let me know how things are now, audio and visual. Avio man, pretty late in Florida, that's quite okay dude, we'll catch you on the next one. So in this aircraft, where do we even start? It has a feature list from here to over there somewhere. So we've quite a bit to go through. Our flight today, we're going to take off here out of Beverly, fly over Boston and head down to Block Island. And we have some scenery running there from Pilot Plus, just outside of Long Island. So that is the plan. So I do hope you guys are keeping well. We're going to go through a few bits and bobs here, get the cover off the aircraft, hop in and see what we can do. So behind my mush, if I can show you, let's see, can we do this? Cool. So over here on the left hand side you have a menu, little red box, and if you click on that you'll see a number beneath it. That's just showing you your FPS. Click on aircraft and you have all these menu things here. We'll go through them one by one. So we have general, all to do with your ground equipment, the settings in which you want for the aircraft, the starter, and see this ISK or A1? It's a doozy. Now it works fine, but I just can't seem to figure it out. Fuel flow, you can charge your batteries, which we'll just do. Head over into our maintenance now. We have our hops time and flight time. You can clean, replace. If we were to turn on the wear and tear features, we can do all our inspections, annual inspections, basically an overhaul of the aircraft itself. So we can inspect the engine, fuel, oil, tires and brakes, TKS, which is our anti-ice or de-icing systems. We can go through our oxygen and overhaul the engine. So there'll be plenty of features on this aircraft. Our load manager is next. It's only a matter of clicking to add in passengers, fill your anti-ice or de-icer, fill your oxygen, set your fuel, and you can change your weight and balance. And then a really nice thing we have here is generate our own tail number here for delivery. So where we want the tail number to be, the colour of it, and what it's going to say. So we're going to remove our chocks, tie downs, pitos and inlet covers, and we'll have a look at the exterior modelling, because this is a master class aircraft. Phenomenal work has gone into this, thousands of hours, and it's from TorqueSim. It's a good while in development and for good reason. So visually, there are no faults. It's visually stunning. The sounds of this aircraft, the use of systems modelling, PPR, all the reflections. This is top drawer stuff. As we pan around here, we see our little pilot dude in there. He's just waiting to take command. Do you see what I did there? Okay. So as you can see, like they've even there's bits of dirt and whatever on the wheel covers, which is just awesome. So it has a 3-blade constant speed prop for our piston engine here. So we can go through some facts and figures about the Cirrus aircraft as well. They're built in Minnesota. They are the biggest single engined GA producer. They've built over 6,000 of these since 2001, and they are the most popular we have now. And I remember looking at these years ago at they were a bubble plane. I'd rather my Cessna or my Piper, but these are known as the plane with the parachute because it comes with its own whole aircraft parachute safety system. And if you know me, I like parachutes. Anyway, we'll hop inside here. So inside the aircraft you can open your doors and turn on your lights and open the other door here if you want to. Everything has its own custom sounds. You have lights up here that come on, spill lights. You have your LED light here. You have that guy, which is your parachute. Don't press that. And there's a door handle thingy here. We'll get that closed, and we'll get that closed. As I said, performance of this aircraft, it's very friendly on your frames, considering the amount of the sheer amount of systems in this aircraft, for which I'll rattle a few off here now. So to give you but a few, it has a fully custom the fully custom engine simulation, cylinder detonation, spark plug fouling, improper magneto grounding, and more. The SR22TN, which is the other model you get with this package, adds Tornado Alley turbo normalizing system. There are bonus points for those of you who will read up on that and enlighten the rest of us. There is a detailed electrical system, simulation of all the buses, circuit breakers, the master control unit, both alternators, both lead acid batteries. Inter-system interaction is simulated, so loads on the electrical system can affect engine performance. It has a high fidelity flight model designed for unparalleled accuracy, custom airfoils, stall strips, cuffed wings, and accurate control surfaces deflect the air and everything else. It's not just a simple wing. There's so many like sensors, if you like, built into the modeling of this aircraft, which is sweet. Maintenance and failure model. Excessive wear and tear will have drastic effects on this aircraft. They're fully modelled. It has torque features that you can damage cylinder heads, you can do all sorts of untold damage. It has a custom ice protection system, TKS, with full system logic control in all normal and backup modes. Fluid metering pump model down to pump speeds and pressures, correct timing of the pump operation cycle. And it affects your system voltage as well, so depending on how many volts you have available in the aircraft, that'll have an effect on how quick your plane can basically get the ice off it. It has a custom fuel system with vapor lock. The tanks are modelled, and fuel sloshes are also modelled depending on your side slip angle, which is awesome. So basically, if you're banking left or right, that'll affect the flow of fuel and how you're reading it, and how the engine indeed is going to take it in. The oxygen system is fully modelled as well. It has a persistent state, therefore it'll remember what you did on your previous flight. So if you were rough, or you left something on, you left a light on, you forgot to close a pitot cover, it'll remember it. It has the X-Plane G1000 avionics system, as we're looking at here, but they've also added a whole load of custom features to it, including the engine pages, synthetic vision, lean assist, a CAS simulation, and there's checklists on it as well. It also has the integrated synthetic vision into your PFD, which has your obstacle display, navigation pathways, and airport labels, which I saw this yesterday. I brought it out for a quick flight, and it has, do you know, like the boxes that you can fly into? Yeah, they're really handy. We're nearly there. There's more features, but we're nearly there. Integrated, yeah, we said that. So meticulously detailed 3D model with full 4K PBR textures, which we can see. The FMOD sound pack has been the result of hundreds of hours of source audio carefully recorded from the real aircraft, and this thing does sound really, really good. The tail number can be dynamically changed on the aircraft. There's plenty of configuration options to make this plane yours, so you do have the sense of ownership with this aircraft, because it has the, you know, it'll remember how you fly it, it'll react to how you fly it if you're rough or you're gentle with it. You can change your own livery, you can change your own tail number, so yes, it does give you a great sense of ownership. So it's heavily multi-threaded systems. The architecture of that is to leverage performance of your modern CPUs with many cores, so there is great core utilization on this aircraft, hence we're getting very good frames here. And the full aircraft state persistence, every switch, flight control position, fuel state, and on airport position is restored upon reload. Even between reloads, system resources change in real time. The engine and oil cools down slowly between flights, the battery drains, tires slowly deflate, etc., etc. That's like a resume if you're going for, like, I don't know, a job to be like someone at NASA or stuff. Anyway, I digress. Enough of the waffle. What we're going to do, we'll get the aircraft into a state in which we can take off and fly, and our mission is to head down to Block Island, just off Long Island, and we'll go for a flight there. So to power up this machine here, we have two battery switches, battery 1 and battery 2. We'll sit back now and allow our wonderful G1000s power up. So our systems are initializing. go ahead, put our nav lights on here as well, just to let the this guy know we're getting ready to go. So we have a number of options. We will get an alert sound, which is annoying, but just bear with me here now for a second. So know your limits, just a whole load of information in relation to the aircraft, what it can and what it can't do in terms of night ops, its icing conditions, maximum speeds and weights. Then you have to check on the pilot. Fit for flight? Probably not. Have you considered? Passenger briefing, and developed by TorqueSim. So we can OK all of that. Make our alarms go shush. Fuel, we'll enter that, and now we have our engine page. And on our engine page we can monitor everything from our power, our torque, RPM, fuel flow, temps and pressures, and everything's done in real time. So it's super. Now, as I said, the last time I tried to take off on this, I had a number of issues. Well, first, my audio didn't work, so I hope it's working now. And if it's not, well, I can just disappear myself and we'll continue on with the flight. So you might let me know in the chat. Outside of that, we had an issue with the starter, as in I couldn't start it. So we'll see. So our little warning up here is just saying that our oil pressure is low, avionics are off, and our parking brake is on. We have a set of keys here. We're going to click on them, and they'll go into our ignition switch over here. All our fuses and relays are modelled, so you can click on these. So we're just making sure there's nothing popping out there, which we're good. We can open our armrest. This will be our headphone jack, left and right. I like the sound of the engine, so we might just leave that alone for the moment. So make sure our controls are actually modelled. So we should have a throttle here, which we have, and mixture there beside it, which we have. All is looking good. So to start this machine, we're going to go ahead and put our mixture to rich, open the throttle about 1/4 inch, hit our prime button. We're seeing a positive rate on our fuel flow, which is up here, and I will go to boost. We're going to turn our mags, shout or say it quietly, clear prop. And we're going to try and give it a start. As I said, I didn't want to start the last time. And it still doesn't want to start. Come on, Betsy. You can do it. Let's see here again. Prime it. Fuel is definitely on. Let's try this again. We're getting a fuel flow, as you can see on the right hand side here. I swear I was like 10 minutes trying to start this earlier on. Hilarious. Let us see. We have fuel in both tanks. We'll prime the second one here. So we have a fuel flow of 9. Cut our mixture. That should bring it back down to 0. Bring it back up again. Goes to 9. So strange. Booster on. It's doing it again. Okay, let's see here. Change our stuff to see if it's perhaps a bug. Maybe it's not. We'll try it again. We have fuel coming in. Doesn't want to start. Any minute now. There's life. We'll figure that out somewhere, why it's not working. Anyway, keep our RPMs up here at around 1,000. Bring our mixture back not too upset the engine here. Could you imagine if you had to like manually crank the engine? Anyway, turn our alternators on. Avionics can come on. And we have an alternator warning here. So we've menus up the top. We can go to our electrical window and that'll bring up all our information here. We have our buses on, non-essential. Alternator 2 is not reading anything. Interesting, so I wonder, is there a fuse out? Alternator 2, so we'll go down here to our fuses. So avionics 1, nav, no, they're okay. Fuel pump, comms, avionics fan 2. Avionics alternator 2. And that didn't do it. So we go into our little machine here. Aircraft, maintenance, inspect the fuel, oil, engine, overhaul the engine. Interesting. Wonder if we increase the RPM, will that affect our... It does. So alternator 2 has now come online. Double check our electrical and we have voltage coming in through it. There's so many systems in this, so don't expect like, you know, this guy knows what he's doing. Anyway, so I'm happy enough with the engine page here now. Our temperatures and pressures are going to rise. So what we're going to do is set our destination, which is Block Island. We already have it in there, so we can go ahead and add that. We're going to set 4,000 feet here. That's going to be our altitude for today. Turn on our strobe lights now. Pitot light can come on. Pitot heat can come on, and our landing lights as well. We're just going to check a couple of things just before we go. So transponder code is okay. We're VFR on it. Altitude mode can come on. So with some of the menus that you have here, you can change your inset, you can change your PFD, we can display our wind here if we want. We have our synthetic vision, what we want to see, pathway, terrain, and your airport signs. So really cool stuff to have. And you can change your lights down here, and we have our overhead lights as well. But we won't need them today, it's nice and bright out. And the AVI tab is there as well if you want it, so you have access to your charts and routes and general stuff. Go ahead and turn on our flight director. Oxygen we won't need, we're not going up high enough. And that's going to be it. I'd say we're good to go. So hop outside just to get the sounds. So we have a lovely sound off our prop here. Alrighty. So we're good to go. Have a quick check, make sure there's no crazy drivers here. Park and brake can, bash everything. Park and brake can come off. Now we have to go by our toe brakes here. There's no differential braking as such. There goes the beamer. Okay, so I'll edge our way forward here. You'll notice as well actually on the keys, if you look at them, they react to the lean of the aircraft, which is awesome. I don't know how well they're doing it, but they're trying to do it anyway. So taxiing this plane, it's not impossible, it is challenging, so it'll take a bit of time of getting used to it. Really cool looking plane. We'll continue to ramble out the taxiway here. And for some reason I'd be getting an oil pressure warning just on the initial kind of takeoff. So we'll see how well that goes. I don't know if it's temperature related. Like, oil pressure at the minute is really low, but it will go high. So we'll keep an eye on that as we continue our taxi here from Beverly. This is all freeware. This comes with Explain. This scenery. Part one down at Block Island is going to be a little bit different. iPad goes off in the background. You know how it is, guys. We like to have this professional stream with no interruptions, except a phone or an iPad or something. Yeah, I think that it's a voltage warning because the RPMs are low, so we shan't worry about it too much. So we'll drop a notch of flaps here as we get ourselves lined up here on the runway. Okay, so a quick final check. We have lights are on, transponder is on. We're going to go mixture rich. Start accelerating down the runway. Bit of right rudder heading down here, bit of wind. We're going to get an oil pressure warning, I would think. Power is now set. PSI is holding, that's a good sign. Airspeed is well alive. That's 60 knots already. And a gentle pull back on the stick. And we're airborne. Watch our climb rate here. Our positive rate. Bring our flaps back in. And we'll turn our yaw dampener on. Nice and smooth. Great performance in this aircraft. Climbing here at around 850 feet. And we're still accelerating. Awesome stuff. So we can start our bank here to our left. Get ourselves lined up here on our magenta line as we head down towards Block Island. Ease back the power a little bit. Just coming over 1,000 feet now. So far, everything is behaving itself. So fluid, everything just moves exactly the way you anticipate it to. Super smooth. Okay, we'll jump down here. We're going to set up our autopilot. So we're going to go to nav mode, autopilot on, vertical speed. We're going to lock that in at 800 feet per minute. So our autopilot is set. That should keep us on course here. Speed is looking good. Go back onto our engine page now. We can see where our power is at. Bring our fuel flow back a small bit. That's with our mixture. Continue our climb here up to 4,000 feet. We can see Boston on the horizon there. And we have Logan Airport to the left of it. Don't need to worry about traffic just for today. Just because. We'll hop out and have a look at this airplane. So we have super detailing here from all our lights, even from the pitot. The general modelling of the aircraft, absolutely stunning. We'll have a look underneath as well. Such attention to detail on this airplane. It's fantastic to see it. With our wonderful LED flashing here with our strobe lights. As we come over here, Logan Airport. Alrighty, so 4,000 feet is set and we're holding it nicely now. You can see our speed sitting up here on 160 knots, which is impressive, and we're doing the same over the ground. We're 77 nautical miles from our destination, about 30 minutes or so. Black Knight, good morning to you. I hope you're keeping well. You might let me know how the audio and visuals are. I tried to stream earlier on and it was, I'd speak and nearly a minute had passed and then you'd hear my voice. That's super annoying. I've yet to figure it all out. So you might let me know in the chat how it's all looking and sounding. So, while I have you here, let's do a bit of reading up on Cirrus, shall we? Because there's a whole load of information here. So the Cirrus SR22, it's a single-engine 4 or 5-seat composite aircraft built from 2001 by Cirrus Aircraft out of Minnesota. It's a development of the Cirrus SR20 with a larger wing, higher fuel capacity, and a more powerful 310 horsepower engine. The SR22 series has been the world's best-selling general aviation airplane every year since 2013, with 6,149 units delivered from 2001 to 2019, and in combination with the SR20, a total of 7,645. It's the most produced GA aircraft of the 21st century, and is the single most produced GA aircraft made from composite material, accounting for over 30% of the entire piston aircraft market. These things be popular, extremely popular, more so than Cessna, which is mad. Good morning, Kenneth. Sound and video are good. That is a relief. Thanks, guys. I do hope you're all keeping well. So the TorqueSim SR22, it comes with two variants, this one and the SR22 TN. Couldn't tell you what the difference is yet, but we'll get to it. One thing about this aircraft, it comes with a massive manual, 80 odd pages. 80, I say 80 odd because that's accurate. I'll tell you now. Let us have a look here. It's available from X Aviation. And if we go to our manual, AIM, 82 pages of a manual, and that's impressive. And then we have like an instructional guide, which there are 8 pages for that. There's so much in this aircraft. There really, really is. And like, it's going to be the case that the sense of ownership, as we were chatting about earlier on, like, you really feel like you own this plane. You put your own mark on it. Like, there is a click spot here for like a bear. There was like a teddy bear appears up here. See? Like, I don't know what it's about, but we can leave him there. It's a cow. So the importance of having a cow, we'll call it Daisy. Let's stow the cow. So, anyway, the Cirrus SR22 is equipped with a whole plane emergency recovery parachute system, known as the Cirrus Airframe Parachute System, or CAPS. This has contributed to its market success and given it the name the plane with the parachute. If we want to buy one of these, a base price for an SR22 retails at $629,900. The $900 part, we'll cover that. We'll cover that. That's okay. But that's not incredibly expensive. So you're saying, you know, $600,000 to $700,000, considering you're getting an airplane that has such a safety feature in it that very few others can even compete with, as in that parachute. Oh, they do work. Okay, so we have lights up here, look. Interesting. You can't move these guys, but I wouldn't be too worried. We do have more lights behind us, and they all work. Now I don't know, is it just on my system or is it a potential glitch, but at night time when you turn the lights on there's a bit of flickering. I was just about to say it was a cow. Don't have a cow, man. Don't have a cow. So yeah, so as I said, with this aircraft there are so many things modelled and simulated in it, and if we want to look even now at the electrical system, what it's doing, pretty much doing what it should be doing. Alternators are running, the battery was recharged, all your buses are in operation. Check on our engines now as well. Your temperatures, your manifold, the oil and the exhaust, and what your cylinders are doing, and the EGT, which is your exhaust gas temperature. And you can jump in here to get a more in-depth live look of what's happening. So you can see how much oxygen we have on board. It's not really required for today. We won't be going up high enough. Our anti-ice systems, you can turn left or right or keep them on auto. And then you have this assist thing here as well. With your map you have the basic stuff. We can turn on or off NextRad. We have our day-night cycle for our topography. Terrain can come on and off as well, which are all really handy. This whole system down here, which was a huge bugbear I believe with Carinada's one when they released it, this is fully functional. Everything here works, which is great to see. As we pop over to this side here then, with our synthetic vision, we can turn stuff on and off. Pathways. Fantastic to have all this in the aircraft. And then we have our various menus, and there's a lot of information up here as well. So as you can read, this aircraft is certified for the following flight operations: day, night, VFR, IFR, flight into unknown icing with required equipment, operate per airplane flight manual, maximum flap position 50% if icing conditions have been encountered. So as we look around the interior of the aircraft, beautiful texture work. We'll leave autopilot in charge and we'll jump back into the back seat here. So from the back, spacious. You have an audio jack down here. You have your air vents. Plenty of storage options. Even down to the zippers on the seats, look. Just beautiful detail, great modelling. The edges are so smooth. Really, really cool. I've never been in one of these, so in terms of their size, I'm unsure. But I've listened to the guys saying that there's plenty of room in these. And our speaker there with all our lights. So it looks like a very comfortable aircraft. So a quick update on our position. We're heading down to Block Island, which is interesting in itself. We'll do a bit of reading up on that as well. We're about 55 nautical miles from it, about 20 minutes out or so. And the views we have here as we fly down from Boston, they're just basic Ortho 4XP tiles, but they do look nice. Plenty of trees down here. Great sounds. So the reason obviously for our altitude is there is a bit of cloud coming in. We're using real world weather as best as we can anyway. So we have kind of scattered to broken cloud conditions. So we'll mind them as best as we can. Comes with the AVI tab or AVI tab as well, so we can click in and look at your charts, read up on your airport data. Make sure we stay in our magenta line here as well. So we're pretty much on the limit with our speed, and the engine is only running at about 83% power, so we could probably get this thing up to about 175 without too much worries. So far, so good. Music deciding to do some strange things there. Alright, so Block Island. This is going to be the information that we're going to read up on our approach. So Block Island State Airport. It's a public use airport located on Block Island in Washington County on Rhode Island. The airport is owned by the state of Rhode Island. It's primarily a general aviation airport, but there's also a scheduled airline service to Westerly State. The airport opened in 1950. As per the FAA records, the airport had 10,500 passenger boardings in 2008. Block Island Airport is one of 6 active airports operated by Rhode Island Airport Corporation. Try and say that fast. So the one that we're using for today is from Pilot Plus. It was released back in April 2017. It got an update in 2018 and it has been recently updated again in May of 2020. That's adjusted for the latest version of X-Plane. So as we're flying here, we're going to swap over our tanks from the right to the left, just so we don't have a big imbalance on landing. So the scenery you can get from Pilot Plus, the whole island is ortho covered. There's 25,000 hand-placed objects. You'll see that when we get down there. There's a ton of trees. It has baked ambient occlusion, dense foliage and forestry, comprehensive building coverage, abundant custom vegetation, including grass and bushes. It has marine traffic with detailed yachts, ground traffic, and a custom 3D South lighthouse. That's currently available for sale on the xplane.org store for $19.95, or I think it's £14. You can buy it direct from Pilot Plus website also. So that's where we're going to fly to. So as we have a look at our map here, we can zoom it out a bit. And again, you can go in and declutter it, take some information off it, or put as much information as you like. So it's a really smooth aircraft. There's plenty of systems here to keep you going. The modelling and texture work is absolutely fantastic. The sounds are phenomenal. So I'm really happy with this purchase, I have to say, and I highly recommend this one. Last time we had an aircraft this good an X-Plane would have been the TBM, so it's right up there with that. They kind of have different applications. This is very much a GA point-to-point little airplane, but its performance, as I said, this thing is ticking over nicely at 160 odd knots, so it's quite good. I have a little warning up on my dashboard here saying that YouTube isn't getting enough video, so let me know, guys, if there's any interruption there. Can't do much at this stage, so we'll keep winging it. So even with the synthetic vision, you're getting a runway number here. So we can go through this, just have a gawk, see what we can see. All the information on the screen. So we have wind information. Again, we can mess around with our synthetic vision. Our defaults, wind, DME. So if we go into wind, you can change our option. We'll leave it at that. 15 knots coming against us. It's great to have these as pop-out panels. So we can click on our engine here again. You have our autopilot system here on the left, which is real handy. Navigation on the right. We're now checking our fuel. Super. So we're getting close. We're about 25 miles out. Less than 10 minutes to go. I'm going to check the headphone jack. Really makes it quiet. Now you still have your wind sounds and surface sounds, but it brings the engine sounds right down. But I like the sound, so we'll leave them on. Oh, actually, while we're down here, you also have your hobs and flight timers. There and there, ticking away nicely. You have your oxygen, your flow meter, and obviously the level in which you have as well. So there's tons of stuff. So the weather a little bit murky, but well, there we go. Plenty of clouds in the area. So hopefully they'll clear by the time we get down there. So this aircraft, the Take Command TorqueSim SR22, it's available to purchase now from X-Aviation Store. It retails at $54.95. But as I said, it's highly recommended, this one. Alrighty. So on approach, we're 6 miles away. Gonna turn off our autopilot here now. So we're descending down to about 3,000 and we'll continue this on. So this is Block Island ahead of us. As we continue on down past 3,000 feet, get ourselves slightly left here so we can turn right onto final. Bring our speed down a good bit as well. So hand flying this airplane is an absolute joy. It's so smooth. It's very responsive. Really nice. So that's what I meant by all the trees, and we've more trees up here by the airport. Oh, there by the airport down here. That's what we're going for. 2,000 feet there now. Speed 136. We can bring that down a little bit lower. Continue our descent here. Speed is a little bit lively. Go ahead, turn off our yaw dampener. At 1,500 feet, lead off a bit more speed. We're getting our flap sorted now as well. So there's 1,000 feet. The nose up here, bleed off some speed. Go ahead, bring our first notch of flaps in. As we turn right onto final. You can see we have this glide path here on our PFD, so it's only a matter of keeping in the boxes and this will direct us straight down to the runway. Really cool for low visibility. $500 checked. Bit of a crosswind to contend with, 10 knots coming in on our left hand side. Make it a little bit challenging as we get ourselves lined up here. There's quite a shot of wind here. Bring us back to idle and we'll hopefully get our flare right. And there's touchdown. Get our brakes on here now. That's just our alternator warning. That's okay because we're on low voltage. Go ahead, bring our flaps back in here now. And welcome to Block Island. Black Knight says, how much of the manual have you read? And how are the spins? I know you're waiting for that. And how tempered am I to use the chute? Yeah, I'll tell you, I want to read up more on the aircraft. I'll probably do a bit more maybe later on it. But certainly today is very much first impressions. See how it flies. That's interesting. A big Gulfstream parked on the grass. Or is it a CRJ? We'll go ahead and get ourselves parked up here. As I said, it takes a little bit of getting used to just to the ground handling on the aircraft. And that should do. Hit our parking brake. So, back up to here. Landing lights off and our strobe lights. Pitos can come off at this stage as well. You can bring our avionics offline. Leave our alternators alone where they need to be. And drop our engine. So we have the prop spinning out. Turn our alternators off. Nav lights come off at this stage. And get our batteries off. Alrighty. Door open. Welcome to Block Island. Now guys, I think it was a shaky stream, but certainly the aircraft, anything but shaky. Fantastic. The TorqueSim SR22 series. That comes with two aircraft, the SR22, which is this one, and the SR22 TN. So I do hope you like that stream. This aircraft definitely gets the seal of approval. It's fantastic. So the rest of the day is going to be spent on how to park the plane better and become a stream doctor to figure out how to get my settings right. But I do hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast, a nice flight, somewhere different. So until the next one guys, look after yourselves, thanks for watching, and I'll see you really soon. Take care.